Here we go. The nine of hearts on today's Magi Monday. Oh, whoa. Hello, Mama Bear Mare. How's it
Hello, Andrea, my Magi. Thank you for not making me sing.
Oh, you are so welcome. My name is Andrea Blythe. I am the traveling Magi of Let Love Rise, and we are unpacking the spring season, the symbology and the numerology and the astrology that is represented in the Magi cards, which we know and love as playing cards, right? What's your favorite
Right?
card game?
It's still war. I still
Yeah,
want
of course it is. Aries. War.
or slap a jack or whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, slapjack. That was a fun one. Yeah. Yeah. So when we were kids, we would play with playing cards, or as adults, we play with these cards. I mean, lots of adults play with them in Las Vegas. And unknowing that what you're holding is a book of ancient wisdom that comes through. I believe off planet. It was said to have been practiced in Atlantis and then went on into ancient Egypt, where it was practiced in the understanding of the system was used in the temples there, and then it went underground, became a secret society. And today, we're in the age of Aquarius. We are all about awakening our understanding. And this system is one that you want to know about if you haven't heard, if you're just curious. The biggest thing to know about this system of the Magi cards is that it is scientifically calculated to you specifically based on the solar energy of your birthday. So leave a comment if you want to know what your Magi cards are. Leave your birthday in the comments. We are going to have a new segment called Ask Mama Bear Mare, or Mama Bear Mare asks some questions that come in through the comments. And we'll unpack that here because really the whole point is to help people understand that we do have a guidance system.
Mhm.
And I like to refer to it as the soul roadmap. And that is my area of expertise, where I am your interpreter of these cards and help you understand how the guidance is speaking to you directly. And today we got a doozy of a card, a doozy, the nine of hearts.
Doozy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a
So
doozy, eh?
yeah. It is because it is known as one of the two divorce cards. So we'll get to the understanding of the numerology, the nine. The heart is all about love, relationships, family, home. And the nine itself is what creates this to be one of the two divorce cards. Before we get to the birthdays, do you remember the other divorce card, Mama Bear Mare, that we
Oh,
have?
Lord. It's not the eight. It's
It's
just
not the
triple
eight. That is
seven.
the power of
Yeah.
love.
And
That
eight
would be
is,
a great that would be a great song. Yeah, Power of Love. No.
I
You
kind
know
of,
what it might be?
oh, the flip-floppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the five of hearts. So the five is change in love, and the nine is the endings in love when you look at just the numerology of it. So these two cards together create what are known as the two divorce cards. So there is another episode that we did a couple weeks ago on the five of hearts that you can go and refer to understand the essence of the change of heart card. But today we're here to talk about it's really special, the nine of hearts. But let's start with the birthdays. If you are born on these birthdays that Mama Bear is about to read, then you are a nine of hearts.
You too can be a nine of hearts.
Yes.
But also, everybody, when you hear if this is your birthday, leave a comment down below so that we know.
Yeah.
And you don't have to use your real name if you don't want to, but we want to be able to help you
Yeah.
figure out what your cards are. So it's very
Yeah, and the
cool.
reason we do that before you give that birthdays is like, well, why does it matter, right? Like, why do I want to know my cards? It is another way of understanding our soul essence. It is very much like how if we understand our astrological birth chart, it speaks a lot about what your soul is intending to learn and grow. And in this lifetime, human design, Enneagram, the Magi Card Science System is another reflection of your soul essence that is really powerful. So when we know ourselves better, we show up more authentically, we kind of own our path and our stories with greater ease. So that is why you would want to know about this. So without further ado, what are the birthdays, Mama Bear Mare?
Okay, we have August 30th, September 28th, October 26th, November 24th, and December 22nd.
So there they are. So these birthdays have one side of their coin is this very special card. I need to do a little bit of deeper diving into how this card system works, just briefly, so that people understand that this is unique card because it is considered to be a semi-fixed card. We did talk about this briefly with the Two of Hearts. It's a semi-fixed card. And so is the Nine of Hearts. So the Nine of Hearts has an opposing, kind of like a twin karmic energy, a twin, I don't know, like twin flame, but they're karmic soul twins. The other side of this is the Seven of Diamonds. And if this, I just want to try to make this make sense for those of you that are in your brains like, what, why is this card together? There is this mathematical formula called quadration. So it kind of looks like when the cards are laid out in the earthly spread, it kind of looks like it's totally random. The truth is, it is not at all random. There is a very specific way that you quadrate the deck. And as you quadrate the deck and then you re-quadrate it for year representing each year of life, uh, something fascinating happens between the Nine of Hearts and the Seven of Diamonds. And it is that they switch positions. They go from the Nine of Hearts sits in the Saturn position, and the Seven of Diamonds sits in the Venus position on the spread. And every other year, they've just switched spots, which is fascinating to observe. Like when you have the power of understanding how to quadrate and you just see that this just happens. And then what's amazing is on the 45th quadration, it all repeats itself. What is different on that 45th quadration is where the Nine of Hearts originally was, is now in the Seven of Diamonds position, Seven of Diamonds and Nine of Hearts. So these cards only experience each other's energy. The other 45 cards of the deck, they go all over. They move to every different position, but I'm going to name the 4 semi-fixed cards and the 3 fixed cards for people because if you are born of these energies, you are, well, we're all unique, but you might feel different. You might feel like you're not like everybody else. That there's just something that just, yeah, doesn't feel the same. So
Mm.
there is the Ace of Clubs and Two of Hearts. They do the same thing that the the Nine of Hearts and the Seven of Diamonds do. So they just flip back and forth. Those are called the 4 semi-fixed cards. And then you have the King of Spades, the Jack of Hearts, and the Eight of Clubs that also with every quadration, they return to the exact same spot. You can't make this shit up, people. You just got to you just got to do the
We
quadration.
cannot.
And I wanted to just start by saying that this card is called the card of universal love. The Seven of Diamonds is called the Millionaire's card. So sevens and nines are the spiritual numbers in the deck. Sevens represent spirituality, nines represent universal. So this being the suit of the heart, it's the universal love. If you think about the most beautiful way of loving another, that's what the Nine of Hearts is. But it's not that easy, right? Like we're on earth and the relationships that we have and other people's baggage and our stories and our beliefs and all of that just make it very complex. And when we're in relationship with another person, that is our reflective mirror. That's how we see what we need to learn. And so a lot of times for Nine of Hearts people, they're going to experience a lot of endings. That is what a nine is in numerology. Every time something ends, it just gives opportunity for a new beginning. So really, I think the question comes down to how do you respond when something is being removed from your life? How do you respond when something is no longer a fit and a match? Can you lift your palms open and allow and receive that ending to flow through you, or do you grip onto it? And the Nine of Hearts really wants you to receive, to know that what is not serving you is leaving because you're on a graduation, you're on to the next best thing. And that's always for nines. Nines can be scary when they show up in your roadmap because they are going to indicate where a change is going to occur, where something is going to be removed. When you are aware that it's coming, you have an opportunity to question your own life and question like is what is outdated, what does need to go, and can I just allow that to happen, knowing when that door closes that a better and more appropriately fit door for you to walk through will open. So nines, that's that's the intro there. The soul roadmap is where you
Mm,
see all of this. So we all have a soul roadmap. We have them for our lifetime. And then we also have our annual on our solar return on our birthday. We get a new roadmap. So one of the things that I always look for as a reader and a guide is to see where are the nines? Do you have them in major positions? One more time, let me just give a little background that when you have a roadmap, there are typically five headline cards for the year, not four semi-fixed cards. These guys are only going to have three for the year. So all the semi-fixed cards and the fixed cards, that special family of seven, they only have three. And that's because they don't move spots besides each other's. Well, I get, yeah. Anyhow, I'm not gonna go deep into that. Y'all don't need to know the full engine. You just want to know why this matters. Why does this matter? Well, when it shows up in your roadmap, if you have, like I did the year I was turning 47, if you have these two cards as your Pluto card and your result card, chances are your love life is going to be very disruptive. That it's probably going to be an ending and a change. The ending is what's going to challenge you, and the change, in my case, because it was my result card, is what's going to bless you. And that is exactly what happened the year I got divorced. And the reason why these cards spoke to me so strongly is that that very first reading I had, the woman looked into my roadmap, and I had shared a little bit about myself, and she's like, well, let's just look at the year ahead. And when she looked at the year ahead, she saw that I had these two cards in my roadmap, and that indications were very, very strong that I would indeed experience a divorce, which I did that year, where they were my Pluto and result card. So knowing what's coming can perhaps allow you to understand that something is outdated and has and is it needs new energy. There's no shame. I want to say that again. There's no shame in the end of a relationship. You did
yeah.
not fail, right? You learned everything you needed to learn. And now you are moving on to another lesson. That change is a blessing. The ending is meant to help you elevate up. Doesn't feel
Hmm.
good, but it is for you. The universe is for you. The endings are for you. And that is the power of having this system and allowing it to really work for you. So,
Hmm. That's one of the things that you taught me right away was the with the mindset part of it was it's not happening to you, Mary, it's happening for you. And that was I was so stubborn. I'm like, what? How? But I see it now and it's yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, and all endings are that way. They can be scary. We grip so tightly to what we know, right? Like we want to know. We are in society, our brain is exalted. We love the knowing, and we love, like gold stars for all the things that you do with your mind. But what about your heart? Right? Like the heart energy is so important. And when you see that something has outlived its time. Allowing it to go is so powerful. And we talk a lot in our soul circle about this book, Rise Sister Rise. And so much of what we are taught, specifically through a lot of organized religions, is that it's not okay for your marriage to end. There are religions that don't allow it. There are religions that will tell you that you are a failure. That's what I believed. I believed that I failed in love, you know? And it took me a while to have to rewrite that story. And this system helped me do that because I saw the high side of the Nine of Hearts is that universal love. How do you accept something when it has ended and allow something even greater to come in, something that your soul is ready for next? And that's where this power is. So again, you can be born as a Nine of Hearts person based on those 5 birthdays that Mare shared. This card is particular though, because also if you are, and we're going to get to the diamonds, but in the fall, this season represents fall. When we get to the 7 diamonds, we'll reflect back on the 9 of Hearts because anybody born as a 7 of diamonds, you are also uh, part of this 9 of Hearts energy because these two cards are um, so interconnected. And it's really interesting that they go from Saturn, like, which is a really hard energy, to Venus, which is a really beautiful energy. And that's what these cards experience all the time. Are there Leo? Yeah, is there a Leo? No, there aren't any Leos. So everybody of this card also will have a secondary planetary ruling card that can, offset this fixed energy a little bit and give another perspective. But generally, people who are 9 of Hearts are going to experience some major endings, and they are going to grow through that and help others understand how to be love and how to love fully and completely. So let's quickly talk about the soul roadmap. Have you looked at your roadmap or
I have looked. I do not have a nine of hearts anywhere. I do
mm,
not.
okay. I'm looking at
Uh,
mine yearly. Yeah. Do you have any questions about the 9 of Hearts? I'm looking at my road.
um, well, can you tell us more about what is a Pluto card? When you say Pluto card, will you share what that is?
Yeah, so thank you for that's a great question because in my roadmap as a 10 of diamonds person, I have this card, the 9 of Hearts, is my Pluto card for life. So it was not only my Pluto card that year, my 47th year, but in my life spread soul roadmap, this is the card that is transforming me. Like,
Mm,
and how powerful is it when I think about that's what Pluto is. Pluto speaks to the transformation, our soul evolution. It is not a fun energy. It is a very much like you can resist the learning of it and it will feel very painful, or again you can open your palms up and allow and receive that this is happening for me, and you will receive the blessings of it and understand that there are other ways to love. So my 20-year marriage, uh how we were loving each other in that was not working anymore, and I was very resistant to the ending, but it's literally in my roadmap that I'm going to be transformed by the ending of my love story. And indeed, that is exactly what happened because I created Let Love Rise as a way to express the pain that I was going through in my divorce. I was so confused and hurt, and I just felt this need to share. And it was during the pandemic as well, so we were very isolated at the time, and I just had this deep inner calling to start writing and publicly sharing my story of my divorce pain. And
mm,
this card truly has transformed me because it had, and it still is. It's not like, oh, complete, done, check. Because Let Love Rise, what just was like a passion project to share my story, became my life's work. And it is my life's work now to help other people understand their soul essence through the soul roadmap as a way to pull us into the higher energy of that is represented in each of the card, especially hard cards like nines. Endings
Hmm.
don't feel good. They hurt. I mean,
Hmm.
from the loss of a pet to the loss of a spouse, through death to a divorce to friendships that might leave to a house, even moving from your house. When we are in those periods of expansion, we have to go through, we have to really get under the emotion to see what are the perceptions, what are the beliefs that we're holding on to, and how can we transmute those beliefs into more empowering beliefs. And that was my first step, was to look at this ending as this is for me. And I am meant to understand love in a different, more universal way, which is, again, this is the card of universal love. There's a
Hmm.
story on Let Love Rise called Unlock Your Magic. And I'll also put the link to that in the description for today's show on the Nine of Hearts. Unlock Your Magic. I do the best that I can to explain the Pluto card, because I think it's important. One of the things when I do, even if I just do a quick roadmap clarity call with somebody, I like them to either know their lifetime Pluto card, if that feels like they're like, well, what's next or why? The Pluto card can often direct you into understanding how you are meant to be evolving in this lifetime. And so through understanding your Pluto card and then allowing it to have its way with you in the highest side of what it offers and not the low side. Because when we are awakened to the fact that these are in our roadmaps and that there is a chance for us to use the card in a very productive way, that is where the magic is. So again, this is called Unlock Your Magic, is the story that I wrote about this. Otherwise, when we don't know, fear, low vibes, feeling of failure, feeling that you're not enough, all those limiting beliefs. I wasn't enough, or I wasn't rational enough. I wasn't this. It's like, no, that's bullshit. This is who you are. You are meant to shine in the way that you're meant to shine. And these cards are Pluto cards, will show you a way forward, a hurdle that you are here to face. And then once you do that, you step into a whole different side of your energy that is very empowering.
Hmm. Yes.
And when
Very empowering. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when we're empowered, we can empower others.
Hmm.
So I just pulled up my roadmap, that I do see that at the end of my year, this year, my 52nd year, I have the Nine of Hearts in Neptune. So what's interesting for that, for me, seeing that it's going to be a planetary period, it's not one of my top five cards, but it is under a planetary ruling period, that for somebody like myself, I have been single since my divorce. I've, dated here and there, but a Nine of Hearts in my roadmap might signal the end of me being single. I might couple up at
You
the end of
just
my year.
might couple up.
I just might couple up, y'all. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? That is one way, though, to understand that the endings sometimes they are very much a wish fulfilled, instead
Right.
of it being an ending. So it's all mindset. It's all perception. So that's what we do in the Joyful Soul Circle. We channel the mystical mindset through these cards to understand how we can love ourselves better, how we can let go of all the stories that are old and outdated. And this
Mm.
card definitely wants to reflect that to you. Like,
Mm.
still need that. But
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have any Nine of Hearts. That's all right not to have
Yeah.
it in
I'm
your,
okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
you're
I'm
okay
good.
with it. Right, right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all of y'all for tuning in every week to learn a little bit more about the system. Again, share your birthdays, share your questions. Mare will bring the questions into the conversation about these cards, because I really feel like it is time for us to know that we have guidance, and this guidance wants to help you to step into your full power and own your gifts and let go of feeling like you need to be like someone else or do like somebody else, or
Yes.
let go of that story that you have failed in love.
Hmm.
Hell nah.
Yeah. Hell no.
Nah.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we have for today. Come back next week for a very celebratory conversation about the Ten of Hearts. So, Ten of
Yeah.
Hearts is kind of like the Ace of Hearts. I was going to say on steroids, bit bigger.
The
Yeah.
feminine power.
Yes, 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 yes. Big, 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 big love energy of the Ten of Hearts. So come back then. Thank you as always. I appreciate comments, likes, subscribes, shares. Help us get the word out on how this empowering system can help us all understand ourselves and our
Yeah.
soul a little bit better. Because when we know better,
We do better.
we do
And
better.
make sure you hit the bell because
Yes,
I'm hearing people say that they didn't know we were on or whatever. So just
right.
hit the bell and you'll get alerted that we've
That there's
dropped
another cup.
something.
That's right. That's right. Have a beautiful week ahead. We will see you back here for the 10 of Hearts on another Magi Monday. Bye, y'all.